Hello, and welcome to this episode of Let's Play Jane's Fighters Anthology. I'm your host, as always, Splinter, and we'll be picking up where we left off. Haiphong Concrete Company, USS Kitty Hawk CVA 63. Date, May 24th. Local time, 1200 hours. Weather, cloud cover. Situation. Some seemingly prosaic targets were vital to the NVN defensive project. Among them was the Haiphong cement plant. Mission objective. In this mission, you fly a MiG-cap for USN aircraft striking the cement plant. Destroy MiG interceptors. Be wary of their attempts to lure you down to the floor and into the murderous small arms below 3,000 feet. Order of battle. Recommended aircraft F-4J. Recommended weapons AIM-7E, AIM-9B. Threat suppression data. Ground opposition SA-2s, KS-19s, and KS-12s. Air opposition MiG-21s and MiG-17s. So the strike package is coming in from the south. So since we're not flying with them, I think we're more of a diversionary force than an actual... Let's see here. They have F-4Js flying close escort. A-7s for the attack. We have AWAC support. Let's arm our plane. Since we're pretty close to the carrier, and since I think we're going to get a lot of air opposition on this one, I'm actually going to remove our drop tanks. So that way we can get a little extra maneuverability. So let's fly with that. And let's turn on the radar, see what we pick up. We'll have our wingman do that. We're getting pegged from here, so we're gonna fly around and nail this sucker. There we go. Coming in from behind us. So we got a nice classic pincer maneuver here. We're gonna try to make it so our missile doesn't have to fight against the ground clutter. So let's lose a couple thousand feet. He's at 12 o'clock. And that should be good. We're in the fog, but that's okay. Now we just gotta wait for him to get within range. He's at 12 o'clock time. Deploy! And that's our wingmate. He can attack everyone now that he's engaging with the main group. It's 12 o'clock time. 30%. 37. 40. It's 12 o'clock. Taking a shot. I'm gonna guess that we missed. That's I think that's more realistic for what U.S. fighter pilots had to deal with for the Sparrow. Got one. So our wingmate's tangling with the other MiG, so let's quickly get over to his direction. We'll put our alright, let's quick fire off a missile. He'll probably miss, but at least he's dodging. Let's get this guy. Wow, we almost hit them. We've got him now. Alright. Watch my tail. Contact, sir. 821. You're 7 o'clock. 1 mile. Showtime. Let's finish this guy. This guy is ours. They're taking some hits. being chased by our wingman. But he's still fucking us up. Alright, our wingman got him. Fortunately, they haven't hit any critical system components. At least I don't think. We'll have time to worry later, I guess. Alright, I can barely make him out through the fog. Alright. Now let's see. We got one more Megla.
Let's finish this guy.
Let's see if our missile. Oh! Yeah! Sidewinder worked!
Let's get this guy. Knock him out.
I'll get us out of the sun.
Disengage.
We'll be selfish and tell our roommate to let us have this kill. Let's try another one.
Let's finish this guy.
Oh, that one was close. Oh shit.
Take him out.
Come on! Woo! Almost got us with that one.
Yeah. We've got him
But
down.
we are better.
Last one. Fish there. Mission accomplished.
Woo! Alright. that was a tough dogfight. And a very fun one.
Inbound. Waypoint Bravo. Bearing.
Our AWACS says the sky is clear, so I guess our friends don't need any more help. So we're gonna disengage and head back to the carrier. Oh man, so I know I was a bit distracted during that fight, but our Sidewinders performed fairly well. We had we only fired 2 and 1 missile. It's a 50% failure rate. I'm guessing he was decoyed with flares. And some of you may have noticed when we were turning around trying to find targets. Let me check. Okay, so we should have enough fuel to... Oh, we have more than enough to get back. So some of you may have noticed what looked like a little cloud on here. That was the chaff return. The return off of the chaff. Which, chaff is a thin metallic strip that is deployed in huge clouds, and they're basically cut so that way they at a specific size, so they reflect radar back at the seeker, and it's a means of spoofing any sort of radar seeker. So here, I'll deploy some chaff here just to demonstrate. Okay, I guess you can't see it against the let me rotate this. There, see, if you can see those little white dots, that's, in this game, that's supposed to be representative of chaff. And you could definitely see the MiGs were deploying the chaff against us. Now, this is that's the game's representation of flares. And flares are basically just a red-hot ball of flame that, like a road flare, kind of. But, they're a bit different. They're designed to emit IR in specific frequencies, and the goal of those is to decoy heat seekers away from the aircraft. And you may have noticed we were getting warnings when they were locking IR missiles onto us. Again, that's unrealistic because there is no way to detect a passive seeker like an IR seeker, which just homes in on the heat of an aircraft, and in this era, the heat of the aircraft's engine specifically. In real life, I think maybe I did say this in combat, I can't remember, but real life, most modern U.S. fighters are equipped with some form of missile approach warning system, and that's basically a comprehensive set of sensors that scans the skies around the aircraft, and they look for the telltale signs of missiles. And if that's going off but your radar warning receiver isn't, you can probably make the assumption that it's IR guided, although there are a couple laser guided surface-to-air missiles out there. They tend to be extremely short range, but they do exist. And those would not be affected by, I do not believe those would be affected by flares, but they're pretty rare, and because the operator has to keep the laser painted on the aircraft, I somewhat doubt their effectiveness. Maybe if you had a machine doing it, automatically it could work, but I think most of them are, don't have a machine doing it. And let me just check. Okay, so oil and hydraulics are good. So we're going to line up the carrier, and yeah, that was a tough dogfight. That was would have been a very difficult dogfight. And you can see how we would have been screwed if we did not have a cannon on this aircraft. If we had taken an F-4B, and maybe one day I'll try a really hard, you know, maybe, well, probably not, but if anyone's interested, you could try taking an F-4B and try it, you know, going through the game with just that, because we would have had 4 Sparrows and 4 Sidewinders, and we saw how easily the Sparrows were led astray by chaff, you know, on top of their own natural failures. And then, you know, having those Sidewinders, which were not, it's possible to get us an instant kill, and in real life, probably. But, we definitely weren't seeing it here. And
call the ball.
Yeah, we are just about on the ball.
Fire. Fire. Lower. On the ball. Unsafe landing.
Yeah. All right. But, oh, what? Yeah, you can see how, that Sidewinder didn't completely disable the aircraft, and while our aircraft does model system damage to a degree, enemy aircraft don't. They just have hit points, essentially, which you can tell by, I'll show that in a minute, but, this bar shows the aircraft's hit points, and as they fill up with white, that basically shows the target is, you know, the damage that it's taking. And I believe the game does reduce the performance of an enemy's aircraft as they are taking damage, but I generally haven't noticed a reduction in performance. Oh, there we are. We're actually lined up pretty good with our wingman right now. Yeah, so I like how the aircraft looks completely 2D from that angle. And I think that's supposed to say Kitty Hawk maybe there. I'm not 100% sure. That would be kind of cool if it did. Unfortunately, they didn't. It kind of looks like that's what it's supposed to say when I zoom out, but no way to know for sure, I guess. But yeah, so that was that mission. I think was more representative of what U.S. pilots faced in Vietnam, and we saw, our sidewinders only had about a 50% chance. We don't get a tone for sidewinders, which I guess I'd have to do some research. I know for sure from the newer sidewinders do give you kind of a growl as they detect an aircraft's energy, but thermal energy, and that tells you when you can shoot. But we haven't been hearing that too much from our sidewinders, and this is the first time I've really played extensively with that authentic weapons setting that we see. I think it was on here, IR laser advanced targeting, so that it's first time I've generally played with that a lot, so I guess we don't get the... I know if you play with it off, like for laser guide weapons, for example, you get like a missile lock on, of ground targets. But we see that's not the case for this. We have no feedback on whether it's locked on or not, especially for these early weapon systems. So it's up to us to know our weapons limitations and whether they are capable of being locked on or not. But yeah, that was a tough fight. We got ambushed from mixed from behind. They didn't, other than the one, they didn't do too much to lure us down, and even then we were still out over the sea. And that's where playing as the F8 may have been advantageous, because it would have had better maneuverability, although it is worth noting that the cannons in the F8 had a tendency to become jammed during high G maneuvers, and we were performing a lot of high G maneuvers. So, but yeah, that's it for this mission. Debrief: USS Kitty Hawk CVA-63. Date: May 24th. Mission: Haiphong Cement Company. Resolution: success. Nice job tearing apart those interceptors. We destroyed the 3 targets, so I want to say the flight in front of us at the start of the mission was a wing of 3, and then I thought the other guy was, yeah, he was alone. So, yeah, we see only our Sidewinder hit. And we'll probably find that our missiles are going to be, yeah, one just outright failed, and 2 of them were spoofed. Our wingman launched 7 missiles, and none of them hit. So that's definitely, an 85% just outright failed. And then, so it looks like only 1 got actually spoofed, the rest just didn't work. And unreliability in these early air-to-air missiles was definitely a thing. He missed all his cannon rounds, apparently. Oh, these are enemy hitters. Yeah, okay, he actually had slightly better accuracy than us. And yeah, they hit some rounds on us. So now we can see, in this case, we only took damage to the airframe. So now we have to patch up the bullet holes. And if we had taken more than 50 man-hours of damage, we would probably not want to fly this plane. You can, but I think the reduction in performance isn't worth it. And I do want to note, this screen that you see here, this aircraft repair screen, this is from, I believe the background is from ATF. Because from what I remember when I was a kid, in Jane's USN of 97, this would actually be a carrier deck. And unfortunately, I don't have a copy of just USN of 97 anymore. I only have the Fighter's Anthology, but I believe Damson, if you look him up, I believe he does playthroughs of Fighter's Anthology, and then of USN of 97 and ATF separately, so he might actually have a picture of what this screen would look like for the for what it was supposed to look like. And then also, you might notice this background here on the mission briefing has been changing. Like, I know for a fact the desert one, it used to be in Fighters USF 97, the background was constant for the campaign. So, like, for example, this one is definitely the one you would see during the Vietnam campaign with the satellite images of Vietnamese bases, the routes mapped out on the map of Vietnam, and then I want to say the Ukrainian and Kuril Islands campaign shared backgrounds, and you'll get to see them probably eventually through the rotation, but they were, like I believe it was just like a map of Ukraine. There was like a watch or something, or a mapping tool, a gray one laid across here, and so I'm a little sad they decided to randomize them, but I guess it can't be helped. And I think that concludes it for this Let's Play. Now, next time we will, looks like we'll be running a seed mission, so that'll be interesting. We'll be destroying enemy anti-aircraft artillery and surface-to-air missile sites. Looks like they'll just have us suppressing AAA, but yeah, that'll be interesting. So I will see you then.